Hubert Davis was canned by North Carolina. Not shocking after the 19-point second-half lead that he gave up to VCU to get knocked out of the first round. This comes after he took UNC to the 2022 national title game, blowing a lead in that game and ultimately leading to this skid over the past few years. We don't need to sit here and litigate. Everybody's really broken this down because this happened a few days ago on if it was the right decision or not. He wasn't producing up to the UNC standard. But if we were to pinpoint a coach each that we think is the right guy to hire to get the ship right back on the track that it needs of being a premier brand in the sport in an era where it feels like it's even harder for blue bloods to maintain dominance over college basketball, who is the one guy that you think they need to hire?
Yeah, that's Jay Wright, legendary coach. Left coaching. He went into the booth doing a lot of TV. He's good at it too. I'm not going to say that he's not. And this isn't a like Greg Olson or not Greg Olson, Jason Witten. Pull him out, get him out of there. I can't stand him. No, Jay Wright's good on TV. He is. But he's an even better basketball coach. He was stellar with Villanova. I mean, just ran that program well. Not even recruited the best players, but just got the most out of his guys. If he was dropped into North Carolina, which I figure is one of the dream jobs in college basketball. Like it's what coaches like Lane Kiffin would leave for if it was in basketball, like the LSU equivalent, the Alabama equivalent, Ohio State or Michigan opens up. I want that job. Like there's history there. You're the North Carolina basketball coach and you can succeed Roy Williams and you can succeed Hubert Davis and be like, let's get it right here, folks. I think Jay Wright, especially in his commentary, has a great respect for the game also. He's super knowledgeable. And that you pair that with not just being some ecstatic dickhead that's like either I'm a yeller or I'm a cheer your guys. No. This guy is like an ambassador for the game. He's bigger than the coaching position now. So if you can bring him back down to coach, I think he's just focused and he could get UNC right quick. And he's going to say, no, I like TV. Coaching, I'm sure, gave him agita and then hurt his health. But for the UNC archetype, the what are they? The Argyle sweater people? The
wine and cheesers.
Wine and cheesers. They're not beer drinkers, but they're not Duke snobs. But they're close. They like to act like
don't act like UNC
they're real close.
Folks are not parallel to Duke folks.
That Duke is still.
They're all academics. They all work in private equity and have,
but they're not Duke
jobs. So you're just pointing out that they're not as smart as Duke people. That's basically what you're doing.
No, they're not as snobby as Duke people.
I think
by a hair. Duke nudges them out, and they like being that. They like being the just below snobby, even though they're silent snobs. Jay Wright feels like a perfect fit for that program.
My only thing with him is his retirement. He's 64 years old. He retires, goes into media, and the basis for that was him not really feeling like he had that same drive to be a premier coach. So I just don't know if that
I would too. I did
works.
everything. He did everything at Villanova. He won one miraculous.
You did everything in Villanova?
He did everything. Did I say?
You said I, and then you changed it to you.
Oh. What is he? A we? He? The
we, you.
Oh.
Him.
Boo.
I think that Mark Byington at Vanderbilt is who they need to go to. And I think that the biggest thing to point out here, I think UNC fans need to be prepared for this. Every single time that it happens in college football and basketball right now, that we undergo coaching searches for premier brands, the biggest name gets thrown out there. And then all the big names start getting checked off a list. That guy got an extension to stay. That guy got an extension to stay. That guy, everybody starts turning it down because nobody wants to deal with the pressure, especially amid an era where there's so much uncertainty on how to build rosters, how to be competitive, NIL, all the troubles that come with being a coach with uncharted waters. I feel like they're not going to be able to take the swings at the big dogs like they think that they can, especially with uncertainty on if UNC has the same firepower as they used to. Byington at Vanderbilt feels viable and capable to steal away. He is not at a crazy big program, but he is very clearly on this track of upward growth, and he's turning Vanderbilt into one of the best teams in the SEC. And I think that if we look at his resume, it provides enough proof that he has what it takes to compete at a very, very high level. He took JMU to the tournament with a 32-win season in 2024.
That was good.
At Georgia Southern, he had a 131-97 record with that program, and he's already got a record of 47-22 at Vanderbilt. He took Vanderbilt to the tournament in his very first year, and then this past season took them to the SEC championship game. Could have won last week against Nebraska as well if it wasn't for that late shot not going in. I feel like Byington has some Cignetti to him.
Cignetti, I was about to mention. Yeah.
I know he's been compared to Cignetti because they were both at JMU and they crossed paths a little bit there for a short period of time. To me, this feels like the guy to go and get before somebody else does in a couple of years.
I like it. Vanderbilt was good this year. They were scrappy. They were not the leaders in talent or athleticism in the SEC. It's really hard to be that in the SEC, especially with like Cal being there. Coach Cal, rather, being there. Alabama's always got really good hoopers. Doing it at Vandy means something to me, and what he did at Vandy this year was good, even though it was a heartbreaker, and we had to pay for our own steaks because of stupid effing Vanderbilt. He had a good year.
Oh, we didn't recap that, by the way.
Let me not lash out. Let me not lash out at Mark Byington for letting that game slip away, but it would be a fine hire, I think. It'd be a good hire. It's a Cignetti arc. Hire the Cignetti guy, the guy that wins everywhere. That's simple. Simple to me. I'd rather hire that guy than a pseudo legend coach that's had, 2 back-to-back losing seasons and is complaining about NIL resources. Give me Byington.
Plus, I would just add a random stupid layer. We were just talking about the snobbiness of fan bases. To just be more specific, I think that you do need, and this is sometimes forgotten when we talk about fit, him coming from a premier academic institution like Vanderbilt that has desires to be regarded as a top academic school, but now wants to be competitive in sports. Making that translation from Vanderbilt to UNC, there's parallels. There's simple parallels there. I think that there would be an easy grip on understanding of what it would take to succeed in an environment like that. I'm all in on Byington. I think that Byington has to be the coach that they need to go after.